Welcome to the Now podcast. Today we have a special guest. This individual has become a friend of mine over the last few months, but he is a leadership speaker, a coach, a trainer, has a PhD in business leadership, and a Maxwell certified speaker. So please help me welcome Mr. William King to our podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Michelle. I really do appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Yeah. I have to say, thank you for your service. He's, 10 years in the Marine Corps?
Yes, ma'am.
And also the president and CEO of Atlas Realty Group here in Temecula, California. That's where we are today. So we're going to get some insights from him on how he's helping leaders lead others well, talk about his brokerage, helping veterans, and his coaching business. So
right, let's get into the conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the real estate test. Okay.
Right.
In California, the real estate test is 180 questions. It's 3 hours long, and it's very difficult according to most people. I signed up to become a realtor in 2015, right? And I was supposed to take the test. I went through the classes, click, didn't read not one thing.
Right.
Okay. I knew my test date was coming. Like, oh, okay, I'll get to it.
Didn't study.
I forgot my test date was coming. Right?
Okay.
Because at this time, I was just an investor. I was a flipper. So I knew something about real estate. Not necessarily things that realtors should know.
The nuts and bolts of the test, for sure. It sounds like you didn't know either.
Didn't know nothing.
Right.
And so the day before my test, and I was like, oh, crap, I have my test tomorrow. And I said, oh, what am I going to do? I said, okay, I need to study. I went to Barnes & Noble. I found probably like 5 books on real estate. I went on YouTube. I probably watched maybe 3 or 4 hours of content. And
all the day before.
I called my my school that I did the test at, and I asked, do they have any study materials online? They did. They had some flashcards, so I printed out the flashcards. Studied for like maybe 7 hours, 6-7 hours the day before. I went to the exam the next day. I walked in, and I was out there in 38 minutes. And I was like,
you just went click.
Well, no, I read it and I answered the question.
I'm saying, like,
and I didn't second guess, and I just went through it. And I was like, I hope I didn't fail this thing, And as I'm walking out the door, they give you your results folded in an envelope, and they say, don't open it until you get in the car and out of the parking lot. I'm like, okay. So I get in my car, and I drive away, and I get to the first stoplight, and I say, dude, I for sure know I failed this thing. There's no way I passed this. Now, that was a lot of information. I opened it, it says, congratulations, you passed. And I was like,
okay, I don't even know that I can even resume this interview sitting with a dude that didn't study for the exam and passed it in 38 minutes, 180.
It's a 3-hour.
What's the math on that? Like 180 questions, 38 minutes. It was like, what, 4 seconds each question?
Yeah, I read and just answered. That's it.
And
I didn't second guess myself. My thing is, when I have the information, I don't second guess. I'm really good with knowing what I know, and if I don't know it, I don't stress. I just move on. Now, I had to go back. I had to go back to like 15 questions that I skipped, and I reread them again.
Which they tell you not to go back and change anything, typically.
Yeah, I didn't change anything. If I don't know it, I leave it blank, and I just skip it, and I'll come back at the end of the test.
Yeah.
So I did that, but I for sure thought that was the first thing I was going to fail, for sure.
Okay, whatever.
Even with the SATs, I didn't study not one time.
And how'd you do?
15-20.
Dude, whatever. Oh my God. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going.
15-20.
He's too smart for me. Too intelligent.
I don't think it's a matter of
no, that's
intelligence.
Smart. That's intelligence.
I just think I just retain information.
Don't minimize the knowledge up there. William, come on.
That's why Ronaldo and Justin, they always say, dude, you're just
like
so
Rain
smart
Man.
in your brains.
Yeah.
So when it came time to real estate and I first got into the industry, my first year, I didn't do so well. I did 7 transactions my first year, and I thought that was whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you're doing that like in month.
I like it. Well,
close.
Yeah. When it was come time to us to start the brokerage, we were the #1 team at our previous brokerage for I think 2 years in a row, and I have earned 10% ownership in the company, and he made me the director of trading. Because I just knew how to sell a house. I knew how to convert leads. I knew how to have the proper conversations. Okay. Me and the CEO at the time, we didn't share the same goal on how to get that done. And also, he did not want to front the cost it would take to train these agents to get them to where they need to be. And I let him know he needs to invest into his brokerage. And he wasn't with that. So was looking for another team to join. And it was just 5 of us at the time. And we had a bright idea. Ronaldo actually said it. He's like, dude, we should just open our own brokerage. And I was like, bro, you're crazy. There's no way. How do you run a business? How do you run a brokerage?
Well,
there's no way I'm gonna do that. I'm like, dude, I already did that as a flipper, ran a little small business.
Yeah.
You know, when he got a contractor's license for flooring and landscaping and stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to run a brokerage. Yeah. There's no way. And they convinced me to do it.
Yeah.
They said, dude, you already have the know-how. You know how to serve real estate. You know how to train.
Yeah.
Only thing you need to figure out is the business.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine, whatever, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So we opened the business.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, I told him, I said, give me three months to learn and understand how to run a brokerage. So I can, before we start looking for people, like more realtors.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, fine, do your thing. So we just started operating it as a name.
Yeah.
You know, we found a
you
guy.
And Ronaldo.
And Justin.
Okay.
And our fourth guy that we had in the past.
Okay.
So we found a broker who wasn't doing real estate.
Yeah.
And we just hung our license under him and we just called ourselves a brokerage at the time.
Yeah.
And 3 months later, between those 3 months, I went and got every single book I can possibly find on operating real estate brokerages. And then I went to Gary Keller, found out who the major players were in the industry, found out the history of starting Keller Williams. They were my prototype, Keller Williams were, you know, because I saw that they
good model to
really,
mimic.
Really amazing. And their market cap in the industry is substantial. They have a lot of market share of realtors. Until EXP came along. But still, Keller Williams had the number one market share of realtors for a long time. And so I tried to figure out as much as I can about their back office and how to do business and stuff like that. And then 3 months later, I felt confident that I knew what I was doing. And then we started to look for other realtors. And when we started to look for other realtors, we grew to 32 realtors in the first, 2 months.
And what year was this again? Was this 2019? 19, okay. Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Yeah. Which was kind of a good time to like.
No one knew that though.
But I mean, like the timing of you starting the business and the 3 months you poured into learning about how to be a leader and a broker and build a brokerage and then bring all those people was kind of good timing.
It was all like, word of mouth, and we didn't put $1 into recruiting. It was all word of mouth because I read Malcolm Gladwell Tipping Point, and it's all about understanding who your players are. As long as you have a maven, a salesperson, and someone who is great with relationships, you will find like your thing can become a pandemic. You know, and it would just spread via word. You know, and but when COVID happened, which ended up being the greatest market in history that real estate has ever seen.
For sure.
You know, no one knew that at first, but everyone was just like, oh my God.
Which is kind of a crazy time to be an independent brokerage because you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to navigate the waters? How am I going to lead my people through this?
Right. With limited resources.
This is.
You know, the only resources we had was we had, you know. Compared to bigger name brokerages who had a lot more resources.
For sure.
So we had no idea what we were going to do. But we stayed home for the first maybe like 2 months that they said stay indoors. And then I got on a group call with Justin and Ronaldo. And I was
2 months you stayed home?
2 months.
Okay.
And I said, dude, we can't survive like this. We got to do something. We can't just sit here and wait for the government or news to tell us to do something. We got to do something. You know? And I said, how you guys feel? They say, oh, we good. I said, oh, I'm good. I said, are you sick? I'm like, nah. You got any symptoms? Nah. Meet me at the office. Got to the office, went to work, and then we started trying to figure out how can we still sell real estate while buyers not being there, and then start looking at different resources and stuff like that. And then we just literally, we didn't get anything fancy. We just started selling real estate over FaceTime.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay. Just doing virtual tours.
Just doing virtual tours over FaceTime.
Yep.
And it worked. And it ended up being the best year. Still today, still have been the best year since we've been open.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, bring back 2020 and 2021. You know, we're clearing, you know, maybe about $10 million in sales volume a month.
It's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Never going to happen. You know,
you can wish it all you want, but that's not. Those days are gone.
Real estate was so easy.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to buy and sell.
Yeah.
And no one had to leave their house to do it.
Yeah. And that was then. Now.
Now the challenge is.
Now we're in the year 2024.
Yeah.
So you had like 50 plus agents back then at one time.
It wasn't. We didn't get to 50. I think the most we got to was 38.
It's pretty close.
And then I realized
Yeah.
we grew too fast.
Mm-hmm.
We grew too fast without the infrastructure matching the growth. So we had to scale back a lot.
Yep.
So now we only have 10 agents
Okay.
because we released the people that were not promising or had potential to grow with us. And then people automatically just switch brokerages once I changed the culture of the company, because the culture before was we're making money and we're partying.
Oh,
right?
really? Okay.
So we partied together. We partied a lot.
Okay.
And at the time, we consumed a lot of alcoholic beverages.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
But I changed that as a culture. And I no longer want to do those things, you know? So once the culture changed, some people just say, I don't want to be a part of this no more. You guys seem kind of boring and stuffy, you know?
It's different.
Yeah. It was different for a lot of people.
Right.
So some people left.
Yeah.
And some people stuck around, you know?
So now are we recording this, by the
Yeah.
way? Because this is all really good stuff.
Yeah.
When you're leading through changes in culture,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is most important when doing that, like in terms of leadership skills? Because while you release the people that weren't a good fit for your new culture,
Mm-hmm.
having the people left and like still leading them down the path with the new culture
Yeah.
can be difficult.
Right.
So what would you say are the things that you did to kind of move through all of that?
Well, I say the first thing that's important is getting buy-in from your actual population. That's the most important thing about a culture change. But you can't allow the population to dictate the decision of the actual leadership team, okay? Because then it's going to be a back and forth battle because you can't please everybody. Once the leadership team, once we made a decision to change our culture, it was now important to get the buy-in of the actual population, right? Getting the buy-in looks like this. It's coming together through continuous meetings and then also monitoring, right?
Right.
But remember, at the time, a lot of people were coming to the office, and now not so many people are coming to the office.
Right.
So the culture of most brokerages now, especially independent brokerages, I hate to say it, doesn't necessarily really exist, you know, because you can't have culture without people. And if no one's necessarily there, if we're all selling real estate and operating our businesses independently online, then what really is your culture, right?
Great question.
So getting the buy-in at the time, we still at the time we had about maybe 10 agents coming to the office, so we still had to maintain culture. The biggest thing was not going back because we were uncomfortable. Not going back to what it was because we were uncomfortable. We were doing something new. We were doing something different. Right.
Right.
So we had to constantly maintain our boundaries because before, as leaders, we were also partying with the realtors. You know, we're going out to the community. We're partying with them. I'm here to tell you as a leader, being involved with the community to that capacity does not work. That was one of our biggest downfall that could have sank our ship, right? Because then you lose a lack of respect because then there's no real boundaries and then there's all perceptions, you know? So
you went through like a whole, not just reculture, but like rebrand, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Internal and externally.
Had to redo core values and everything, right? But that's because I came across EOS Traction.
Which is not crazy. I sent you that. And you were like, been there, done that.
Came across EOS Traction.
Yeah.
And when I first read it, I was hooked.
Yeah, it's good.
And then we found a coach, you know, to coach our leadership team to how do we implement EOS into our business. It was the best thing since sliced bread, I have to admit. Because changing the culture, changing the core values, understanding the right person for the right seat, and at the right time was crucial towards our success today. Do we consider ourselves successful right now? No, I don't think we're successful. I think we're still finding success because we're still a new organization. If you think about the average time of businesses, think about the average age of a CEO, you know, the average revenue of an actual successful company, think about what those numbers are. We're still at inception. We're still babies.
When did you go, so post-COVID, when did you go through this transformation as an organization?
Within the last 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
So probably end of 22, for sure all of 23, and still going to 2024. You know?
Okay. So how did you communicate that? Like, was it like every single week you're talking to your people? Twice a week. And is that all like Zoom,
to make sure we had the same
person?
message. Zoom and in person. Both.
Okay, so both you offer it.
Yeah, so we'll set up, we operate on Workplace.
Yeah.
So we set up the workplace camera,
Yeah.
and then people still came to the office
Yeah.
to make sure everyone was receiving the message,
Okay.
because I didn't want anyone to have the excuse of I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So now we don't even allow alcoholic beverages in the office at all. You know,
Which before it was like part of.
oh, we had a whole bar. You know, we had a bar. We were party animals.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
We were making money. We were having
Wow.
fun,
Wow.
doing things, and
Wow.
we were the new kids on the block. We were the
Right.
newest brokerage in the area in Temecula. You know, and we were making a lot of noise because we were selling a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
we all drove nice cars.
Yep.
You know, everyone just knew who we were, but that don't work.
It worked for like a minute.
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So as I'm hearing you talk about the transformation of the company, I feel like what I hear you saying is it's also important to lead by example.
Yes.
So
that was the most important. Actually.
Okay.
That was the most important because everyone looked up to me as the CEO of the company to understand how to be a successful person. Because prior to being a realtor, I did well for myself as an investor, flipping houses and stuff.
Yep.
And then I became a realtor, and I went from 7, 14, 36, I think 52, and my numbers just keep climbing. Every single year, it gets harder and harder, you know, to where this year, last year was the only year I didn't exceed the previous years, okay? But this year, my goal is just to do 55.
Okay.
In the first quarter, I've already done 12. Okay.
Okay.
But everyone's looking up to me as an example, like, how are you doing this? Okay. And then also, how are you doing this and still maintaining a professional standard? Right? Because before I was doing it and I was a party animal. Okay. But now we don't want that in the business because we know that the culture of partying doesn't work. And so I had to break a lot of my own habits to where I got to the point to where I don't drink at all, even off hours. I stopped drinking in totality, right? So I had to shift. There had to be a change within me as a leader. Before I wanted to lead anyone else, I had to look within first and evaluate my characteristics, my traits, my habits. If I'm going to show someone else the way to go, I had to go there first. So I had to stop drinking. I had to stop going to bars. I had to stop smoking. I had to stop cigars. I had to stop being seen in clubs, right? Ultimately, those things made me a lot better.
Healthier.
Like, healthier, you know. They made me a lot better. And when people saw me going through those changes, they knew it was still possible to be successful and maintain a professional standard. Because that was the real problem in the organization, was a lack of professionalism. I didn't see it as such, you know.
Well,
but the more I became educated in business and I looked at the people I wanted to be like, Warren Buffett ain't at the bar. you know what I mean?
No.
And then also going to school, it was my last year. Last year was my last year of my PhD program. And we was working on our dissertation. And my research involved military leadership and social media and if it degraded mission readiness. That was my research. Right?
Okay.
And
mission readiness.
Yes. Because I had a weird theory. I'm going off on a tangent now about something else. I'm going to come back to this.
Yeah.
But I had a weird theory that social media made American military weaker based on leadership principles.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I was able to prove that.
Okay.
That it did.
Okay.
Because a lot of things are online now.
Okay.
And online, when you're online, it's all about perception. Right?
Correct.
So when you're holding meetings online, and then also when you're giving orders and directives online, and then you see your leaders on Facebook or Instagram doing whatever they do, which is nothing wrong with what they did, but it gives you a different perception. So subordinate response was less. There was no longer instant and willingness obedience to orders.
Because of their
perception of their leader.
Socially.
Yes.
On social media.
Correct.
Makes sense.
It was a wild goose chase for me. But through research and interviews and transcribing and all this other good stuff that a dissertation involved, I was able to prove my theory.
Yeah. So were you...
the military was mad at me for a long time, though. Especially because we're around a lot of military bases. And my report is getting published.
Oh.
So, and I
Ooh.
was already summoned for a book,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
about the information.
Oh,
I don't know how far I'm willing to take this. Tell you the truth.
okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like there's some validity. I mean, I wouldn't dispute
And
that.
there is validity.
Yeah, for sure.
There is validity.
Yeah.
But
Were you, when you, in that former life, were you active on social media?
I've never been a social media person.
Okay, so you didn't have that going on back then? Like
No,
with,
I never put anything on
okay,
social media.
okay.
If you look at my social media now, you couldn't
Well,
tell anything about me.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
and
but I
maybe
didn't know if you back
even back
then.
then, I was just never a fan of social
Oh, okay,
media.
got it.
You know, no one could tell if I'm married or not, if I have kids or not,
Right.
or well,
Right.
I think maybe one or two of my kids on Facebook from like some year ago, some years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't post many things personally, if anything,
Well,
on
we
social
shouldn't
media.
have to battle that.
I never had to battle, my own image on social media because I kept my image on social media strictly professional. You know, so I would never post locations or if I was at or if the turn up was going on. I'm not taking stories and snapping and stuff like that. You know, never did that.
Yeah, good, because you have to clean up that mess.
Yes, I would. I don't think I would even went that route if I had that mess to clean up because that would have been a total nightmare. You know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I wanted to talk about so much stuff, but you're a Maxwell.
Yes.
Certified
speaker,
which I love John Maxwell.
I love John Maxwell.
And when I was thinking about you being a Maxwell certified speaker, I was thinking I've seen him, I've listened to him. He has those Minute with Maxwell emails that he sends out. And every time I've tapped into the Minute with Maxwell, I've always walked away with something.
Right.
And I've always thought like, wow, how can somebody have the power to be influential in just 1 minute?
That's the goal of influence, you know?
And I'm like, can I do that with our little podcast? Like, I want to be able to do that.
You can.
So, but you're a speaker, certified. So how do we do that?
Well, it's all about finding, in my opinion, because I have the same goal as you, is to completely influence the world on a massive impact on something positive. That's my goal.
In 1 minute. I mean, like, as quickly as possible.
But the real goal of influence is honestly having a followership. Once you have people that actually knows who you are and having a followership, then you can actually influence, okay? But with influence, it must comes value add. You first need to know what the real problem is that you're adding value to. After you figure out what the problem is, you can begin to scale back and find different solutions to that actual problem. With Maxwell is so influential right now because he got in the leadership space a long time ago. Even though leadership was a problem, but nobody was talking about it. John Maxwell left the pulpit to begin talking about leadership. Have you actually ever took the chance to read the Maxwell Leadership Bible? He actually took the Bible and transcribed it.
No.
Every single chapter, every single verse.
I actually didn't
and transcribed it to leadership principles.
There's
an actual Bible. Like, it's the literal Bible, like a King James version. There's a Maxwell version.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's an amazing Bible. It's amazing. He has the Bible verses, and he shows leadership in it.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. From Genesis to Revelation.
I did not know that.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's a great nugget.
So
didn't know.
As long as you can find what the problem is with your followership, the people that's currently following you, you're able to add value to that, and then you become influential. Okay? Like, for example, what's a huge influencer? Tony Robbins. Why is Tony Robbins so influencing? Like, honestly, let's be real. What does he sell? Himself.
Yes.
And I mean, does he have a product?
No, he's just.
Are we paying to be with him? No, but you say Tony Robbins is coming to speak at a convention center is sold out.
But the other thing is I feel like he just is looked at as someone trustworthy.
Right.
People trust him.
Right.
What he has to say.
And once and even if you look Tony Robbins up, you can try to see what industry he's in. I mean, and what industry is that? He's a speaker.
Motivational speaker.
People become influential once you add value to someone's life, and John Maxwell became influential because he was able to add leadership to the world. And no one else was talking about leadership in the early 80s whenever he started this path, right? So he was like the father of leadership. That's why people call him Papa John.
And he's like the grandfather now.
Yeah, he's like the grandfather of leadership. So, and John Maxwell is a very, very intelligent guy, very intelligent. I had the opportunity to speak with him one-on-one for about an hour in Orlando, Florida.
Oh.
And
did you record that?
no recording allowed.
Oh my gosh.
But
that would be like
a
such
10-minute conversation with John Maxwell is worth so much.
That's priceless.
Right. And even to become a certified leadership speaker, trainer, coach through John Maxwell school, the value there financially was tremendous. It wasn't cheap. You know,
you had to invest in that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cheap. But, you think about the cost of something. And what is someone willing to pay for something? How much are we willing to pay to go see Tony Robbins at a convention center?
Thousands.
Some people pay thousands.
Yep. It's like the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about value add.
Yeah.
How much is someone going to pay to come see me at a convention center? I don't know. I don't know because I never did it. But if I did do it, no one knows me. So people are like, $100 for a ticket to see who?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I
can have an amazing topic too.
Yeah.
You know? I can have a topic. Coming to this seminar, you would leave rich, guaranteed your money back. And if I sold the tickets for $1,000, I guarantee it won't be sold out. Only because of my name. You know? Now, if Tony Robbins did that, it'd be packed.
In 4 seconds, yeah. It'd sold that, yeah.
And I have all the credentials in the world to prove what I'm saying is actually credible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all about value add in order to be influential.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about EXP.
Oh, okay.
And how they grew from when they first started. What year was that? Probably 9 or 10 when they officially first started? 9?
Yeah.
And in the first 8 years, there was about how many? Like 70,000 agents.
Oh, there's 90,000 now.
Now 90,000.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
How much? That's a lot of growth in such a short amount of time. You know, we're talking about 9,000% growth. You know, in such a short amount of time. Why did realtors, decide to run to EXP? Because they offered something new to the industry that offered value. And that was the rev share model. Profit sharing has been around for a long time, but EXP introduced rev share, right?
Yep.
And now there has been several other people that have mocked it. Several other companies that's cloud brokerages and offer revenue share has mocked it. But no matter what, they're never going to compete with EXP because they are the grandfather. Same thing with every other leadership person that came behind John Maxwell. John Maxwell is always going to be more influential than Tony Robbins. If I had to pay to see Maxwell or Tony Robbins,
I would pay to see Maxwell for like 10 minutes versus,
for sure.
I mean,
versus Tony Robbins for 10 minutes.
100%.
For sure, 100%.
Everything about Maxwell is amazing. So
the point is, once you figure out what that thing is that the people is missing, and I'm on the same journey as you. We're on the same journey to try to find that one thing to become influential. Once we figure out what that one thing is, if you want to be an influencer, that one thing, you need to find it. And then put it out to the world. You know,
and believe in it.
Number one, believe in it. Because if you don't believe it, no one ain't gonna believe it. You know, you got to believe in your own self.
Yeah, that's hard to do though. Like when you're putting yourself out there and trying to build something new.
Right.
So our history is a little similar in that we started an independent brokerage. My business partner's not with us, Courtney Twiss.
We miss you, Courtney.
Yeah, she's in the Amalfi Coast.
She's having fun in Italy.
I know.
And we're here at work.
I know. So she started the brokerage 12 years ago, and then I came on 10 years ago. And so we spent all these years building her business, and now that we're EXP, I'm kind of, partnering with her to build both of our businesses and leaning into my brand, which is a whole new thing. So it's difficult because, 47 almost, it's like, my point is it's not like too late to lean into whatever it is.
Never too late.
And find your why.
Yeah.
And your value added.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I'm leaning into it.
Right.
Yeah. But you're still independent.
Yes.
Yes.
For now.
Yes.
We have decided that we're going to go over to a cloud model.
Okay.
We have decided that for sure before the end of 2024.
That's what you had mentioned.
And that's because we do see it as the future of real estate. But we're not going to move away from our values. It is hard for me to say, for example, if I just take EXP as a company, what the culture is of EXP. That's hard to say, right? Because it's cloud-based. Now, for me, myself personally, although we will be cloud-based, we're still going to maintain
The
our
office.
inception. We're going to maintain the office. We're going to maintain our people-first mentality. So for Atlas Realty Group, the most important thing to us is our realtors, because our realtors are our clients, and we treat our clients like they're our babies. Because without realtors, none of this even matters, right? Now, as far as me, my personal leadership style is that of leading first by example. I want you to do whatever it is that makes you happy, right? If you want to sell 2 homes a year, I'm okay with that. But I'm going to hold you to the fire to sell 2 homes a year. If you tell me your goal is to sell 100 homes a year, that I'm fine with that too. But you got to meet your
You're
goals.
going to meet people where they are.
Correct.
And help them
Regardless
get where
of
they
where
want
it's
to
at.
go.
I support happiness.
Right.
Wherever you're at,
Right.
I'm going to meet you there
Yep.
and take you to where you want to go.
Yep.
For me, if I don't meet my goals, it's like I get like a twitch. Like, oh my God. Like last year was annoying to me.
Yeah.
I consider the worst year in real estate, but I didn't do that bad. I think it was 41 transactions.
Well,
It
everyone
went
didn't
bad.
do as great as they
You know?
did before.
Right.
William, so.
But I beat myself up over it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm just that leader. I have to meet my goal.
Yep.
I just have to do it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Because I want to lead by example. And you have to have that type of conviction within you in order to tip the spear and make real impact
Tenacity.
or big change. Tenacity. We just talked about that.
Yep.
Jaime,
Yep.
get that film to Sundance, buddy. Really
so
believe
funny.
in what you are doing
Yeah.
and just live by it.
Yeah.
The greatest thing
Yep.
I heard someone say was by Eric Thomas. You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. You have to.
Have to breathe.
You have to breathe.
Not want to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to breathe.
It's
but you got to want it that bad.
non-negotiable.
Yeah, you got to want it that
Yep.
bad. It's non-negotiable.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And if you don't want it that bad,
Yep.
find something else.
Yep.
Because it's not going to work.
So I'm curious, have you communicated this message about going to a cloud-based company?
No. This is the first time it's being said.
Okay.
The
So,
only people that knows is me and my staff.
when,
My realtors don't even know yet.
okay. Well, maybe this won't air for a week and a half or so. So it'll be interesting. I can't wait to hear how it's received.
Right.
Do you think, what's your best guess?
My realtors trust me.
Mm-hmm.
If I make a decision to move the company in a different direction, I think I'll probably have 80% buy-in automatically. And I have to work on the other 20%.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Or, that's just how chips fall. What inevitably made you come to this conclusion? Because I met you virtually a few months ago, and I know you.
I don't even remember how we met. Or how this
It was an
came up.
accident.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't really an accident. My friend lives here, and she's the one that told me to call you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you called me back.
Yeah.
That's how it all started. But at the time, it was one of those things where you were like, I'm a fan of the model,
Right.
but some of your other
Yes.
partners
Are not. You know, a lot of realtors, just in the industry period, they are a fan of the model. They're not a fan of the what do you call it? The what realtors put in the actual industry. You know?
You mean realtors within a cloud-based company?
No.
Oh.
For example, EXP is phenomenal. They have phenomenal resources. They are top of the line in technology. Okay?
Agreed.
They're great.
Agreed.
What a lot of realtors have done over the last 7 years have given EXP a bad name
Agreed.
just because of how they were how they are as business people. To where the only conversation we're having is about the model. To where we're not thinking about people. We're thinking about profits then. Because I know ultimately if I can recruit you
Right.
and your entire team, you know, I can increase my own personal income as well as the income of the corporation. So the repetition, it's not repetition, the reputation that EXP has in the industry is not great, which a lot of people are automatically turned off of even hearing the actual model when people really don't really know. Because I don't know all there is about EXP.
Yeah.
I just know like the surface level wave tops.
Yep.
But I was never really interested in hearing a conversation about EXP until I talked to you.
Same. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Until I talked to you.
Okay.
Because you didn't make it about that. You
Right.
was really, you really wanted to build the relationship.
Yeah.
You really wanted to cultivate something special between you and I.
Right.
You know, how can we work together?
Well,
You know, and how can we make this make
that's
sense?
important.
Yeah, it's very important to really like the people you want to work with.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But I think it's important that we continue to build relationships. We continue to focus on people and not allow technology that we were just talking about earlier, you know, to dictate our future. Because people are going to always be important no matter how much technology is created. Okay, it's going to always be important. Now, going back to influence, I'm going to put you on the spot, Michelle.
Oh no! Why are you doing this? I'm cool. I'm cool. Let's
put you on the spot.
Okay. Let's do it.
Tell me.
Okay.
What is your biggest why? From when you started an independent to taking that independent, going over to a cloud brokerage.
What is
your biggest why?
Like this whole time, regardless of independent,
regardless of whatever it is. What was your biggest why?
My biggest why then and now is I'm just a servant leader, and I want to serve the people that I love and get to do business with personally and professionally. That's my passion. That's what I love to do, and that's my why.
I love it. Servitude leadership. It's one of those qualities that a lot of people should really take heed of. Now, I'm not necessarily religious. I'm very spiritual. I believe in God the Father Almighty, and I believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. The way that Jesus led was through servitude.
Yeah.
Okay. And his message was to spread love.
Yes.
And he did that through serving.
Yes.
Okay. As long as we continue to serve everyone and everyone's serving each other, everyone's needs are met.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, that's my why.
And if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs based on humans, you know, we must fulfill the basic needs of a person, which number one, that's going to be love. Whenever someone feels love and feel appreciated and all those other good things,
and
that's
safe
what's going to build
secure.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things. I feel
that's what's going to build trust, and
Yeah.
ultimately, that's what's going to allow you to influence.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
How'd I do?
You did good. I love it. You're well on your way to being Maxwell number 2.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, I really appreciate all the insights that you've shared. I feel like we could keep talking about your journey as a leader because it's just fantastic. You're doing a couple more things before we close up shop. You're currently coaching real estate agents?
Currently, Michelle, that was an accident. I did not mean to coach real estate agents outside of my brokerage.
Well,
that was an accident.
Okay.
But I do it. But here's how. Let me tell you a quick story real quick. Okay. There was a convention at Pachanga at the casino for real estate agents.
This is 500 people-ish were there?
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing this story.
Yeah, and this was just in, I think, November last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the company that put on the event knew of me, and they knew my background in leadership, and they knew just things about me in general. So they wanted me to, they gave me 3 minutes.
3?
They gave me 3 minutes. I took 5.
Okay.
Right? I got on stage amongst 500 of my peers and colleagues in the industry.
Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. I remember this. Can I see if I remember this?
Go ahead.
I feel like I remember. Did you get up there and say you all suck? Or something like that?
Realtors suck. You guys suck.
I can't believe I remember that.
Like you guys suck as business owners and
I remember right when you teed that up. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And did they all go?
Yeah, they was like, who was that guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Truth, though.
But it was truth.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times does it take to call a listing agent to get a freaking schedule to call you back? It's annoying.
Or they say that time won't work.
Right.
Period. And you're like, okay.
Well,
what time?
Right. Can we figure this out? Or
you want to make a deal?
Sometimes I believe that, dude, how are you trying to sell a house?
I know.
And I think about, how did you hire this guy to sell your most precious asset?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
And a lot of realtors, I'm going to throw some realtors under the bus. Some realtors get a listing, take pictures, put on MLS, go home.
Yes.
Wait for a buyer's agent to call, so I want to put an offer.
Yes.
That's not how you sell real estate.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
You can't move the needle by putting pictures on MLS and sitting
No.
back and waiting.
No.
You know?
Okay, get on the phone. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to reverse prospect. You
Yeah.
got to call. You
Yeah.
got to put it out there. You
Yeah.
got to market. You got to do all these things as a realtor.
Mhm.
Okay? But anyway, back to real
Yeah,
estate
sorry,
coaching.
you suck.
I told everyone
Yeah.
they suck.
Yeah.
And I gave a compelling speech, you know, just about understanding your why for being a realtor in the first place, and then really understanding leadership, understanding servitude leadership, and serving your clients, right? And I gave a story about me and Justin, my business partner, how we met. He was at another brokerage, and he wasn't doing so well. Then he met me, and I completely served him. He wasn't doing well at that brokerage as a realtor. He was doing well as a person, but he had a family, and he wanted to come work with me. And I knew he didn't have the skills necessary to be successful as a realtor right away. So I told him to quit his job and come work for me, as my assistant, and I would teach him. And I put him on a W-2, and that was my first W-2 ever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I paid him as a W-2, and then once he became, you know, pretty decent as a realtor, I fired him. So with his commission check, I think it was like maybe his 7th commission check or 8th, I gave him a letter of termination at the same time, you know, and said, time for you to fly, big dog. And then he became a realtor independently.
So great.
You know, but yeah, so I gave that speech at Pachenga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I walked out after the session was over for the day, realtors just, where's that guy? I want to talk to him. Where's that guy? Do you do any coaching? Like, I mean, no, but sure, I can coach you. You know, I'm thinking this is an opportunity for realtors to join my brokerage, but little did I know, most people are not even from this area, you know? So I ended up talking to one realtor at first, and she asked me about coaching. So we set up a Zoom call, and I told her the truth and said, I don't know what this looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I know I can coach, but I
haven't built out
a platform
system or,
you know, so if you don't mind being a guinea pig, sure.
We'll build it.
Yeah, we'll build it.
As we go.
You know, so I said, for that, I'm giving you my time and my knowledge. I'll give you a significant discount of what I typically probably would charge.
Right.
You know, so she was like, great.
I'm in.
Yeah. You know, so I charged her, and then she posted it that she had a coach and it was going well. And over like the course of a month, someone else hit me up based on her post and how things were going with her.
Referrals.
And then on Lab Coat Agents, someone made some crazy post, and I responded, and like 3 more realtors got in my inbox, said, do you do coaching? I'm like, I absolutely do. You know? So I didn't officially say that I became a real estate coach until like maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
That I said, you know what? I'm a real estate coach.
Okay.
You know? People are actually paying me to get my advice and opinion, and I'm providing a service, which means I have a business. So another business, which means I'm still in the process of building out a solid platform so I can scale that business. Because do I want to coach people forever? Absolutely not. You know, I mean, what I'm looking for, here's my goal with the coaching side.
Okay.
Here's my goal.
Okay.
Right now, I'm currently coaching 4 realtors.
Okay.
I had 5, but she's going through some personal things, so she had to stop for a minute.
Okay.
But my goal is to get 10 clients. Once I get 10 clients, I can now hire another coach. Now, I would be extremely picky, and I would completely look into this person to see who that coach is. But I want to create another me, and he's going to take 5, and I'm going to take 5, and I'm looking for 5 more. Once I get to 10 again, I'll hire another coach. Okay? I will want 1 coach per 5 realtors. Okay? Once I get to, I think the number was 35. I got this all written out.
Okay.
Once I get to 35 people that I'm coaching, and at that point, at 35, I should have about 15 coaches.
Okay.
Not 15.
No, 7.
7. About 7 coaches.
Yeah.
At that point, now I can take all those 7 coaches, and then I can mentor them as coaches. And I'm going to encourage them to go find 5 more people and go find another coach. Right? And to replicate that way.
Okay.
To eventually, I'm completely out of the coaching. But my coaching business is still
You'll
alive.
never be completely out of
anything.
Never.
No, never. But
you got Jaime here to automate all this too, right?
Correct.
So you could do all.
I never want to automate it.
But I'm just saying the training, right? Because you don't want to be like.
No. I don't.
You don't want to.
I have as minimal automation as possible with coaching. I'm talking very minimal.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even have a website yet.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be a one-on-one connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I meet with my realtors that I coach 1 hour a week, every single week, in person. I give them things to do. We talk. I give them goals. I give them tasks. I check on their goals and tasks every Friday to prepare for the next week's meeting.
Okay.
To make sure they're on track.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Every week.
Every week. There's no automation in that at all.
And you do this like Zoom?
Zoom,
Or in
Facebook,
person?
FaceTime.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any in person because there's no one in this area. It's all literally just people from my area.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so we're doing the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the independent brokerage.
Independent brokerage.
What else are we doing?
Business wise?
I mean,
Dude, I'm a DIY junkie.
So, I feel like I did see something about that. Were you doing like...
Pull up Instagram real quick.
Were you doing like something with a door?
Accent wall. I built that accent wall in the office.
Oh, that's right.
Go to Atlas Accent Walls on IG.
I'm not following that.
Nope.
I'm not. Is this new?
I just started the
like-
Instagram page maybe a month or two ago.
Atlas, one more time.
Atlas Accent Walls. It's a public page.
I don't have my glasses on.
No worries.
That's what happens when you're pushing.
Yep.
Okay, here we
So
go.
I
You got 94 followers.
Hey.
95 now.
I build and design barn doors and accent walls.
Okay, you're taking this on the road?
Really, really handy.
I'm like, you're going to be taking this on the road? You're going to have to come up to Mariposa.
Now, this one, I'm going to do this probably forever. I just love building stuff.
doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to build an entire house no more. I love doing accent walls. I love building custom barn doors.
This is what I saw. You must have posted this on something else.
It probably came on my Facebook, too.
Yeah. I feel like I saw that a while ago. That's so cool.
Yep.
Okay, so we got accent walls, we got the independent brokerage, we got coaching, and you're helping veterans.
Helping veterans.
Like, I feel like that's almost one of your number one whys. Like, you seem pretty passionate about that.
I'm really passionate about veterans because I served 10 years in the Marine Corps. I love our country. I would die for our country any day.
You'd probably go back.
If we went to war today, I would sign up and drop everything I'm doing to protect this country. I'm a true patriot. Okay? So I love veterans, but I've noticed that there was a huge problem when I was in the military. After my first few years where I was a war fighter, I got into the administrative space and I became a career counselor, in the Marine Corps. I noticed that the majority of military people have gotten out of the military with $3,000 or less. I'm talking after a 20-year career, 25-year career, they barely had any savings, no home, no credit, or credit shot.
Yep.
Probably even went through 2 or 3 divorces, paying child support, paying alimony, and stuff like that. And I thought that was sad.
It's
all the wealth
still
in America.
Like that.
All the wealth in America, less than 1% is from veterans. The people who protect this country and keeps it safe are not wealthy.
Well, they're not paid
at
enough,
all.
But that's
that's a whole other
conversation. I don't want to get off on that.
Whole other topic.
Right? Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, less than 1% of wealth in America is from veterans. And then I had to look into the veteran space of why veterans did not utilize their benefits to increase their wealth, right? Because we know real estate is fairly simple investment. It's not volatile at all. You can control when you buy or sell and when you lose or make money. You know, we know that you make money when you buy, right? But veterans did not have the education on that because one thing I will say that's good about the military and good about the United States is that they make it simple to be in the military. They provide every single thing you need to serve your country. They provide housing, they provide food, they provide clothing. If you're very frugal, you can go to the military and save so much money because you don't need to buy anything. Everything, they give you 3 meals a day for free. They give you clothes to wear. You don't ever need to buy clothes, right? They give you a house to live in. You never have to buy a house. You never got to go figure out where to rent. Every single place you get stationed, everything is provided for you.
Yes.
You don't even need a car if you don't want to.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
They give you, they provide childcare, right? Everything you need, the military will provide if you join the service, if you're frugal, right? But like most people in Americans, we aren't frugal. Overextend. So a lot of military get into trouble because of this, because of just the status quo of society and just living.
Yep.
Based on a paycheck and having a family of 2 or 3 or 4, it's hard to save money.
Yep.
It's really hard. Even if you are being frugal and if you got 3 kids and a wife, that's a family of 5. And it's really hard to save money, right? With their paychecks. What's the next best way to save money and still be safe? Invest in real estate. They have an amazing benefit called a VA loan to where you can get it You can invest into property with little to no money out of pocket. You know, a down payment is not required. Closing costs can be negotiated. As long as you have a deposit of $500, I can help you get into a home with little to no money out of pocket. We can't avoid a deposit. We have to have a deposit.
And you go and talk to active members right now about this.
Yeah, so I spend the majority of my time, I try to spend the majority of my time going from base to base, command to command, group to group, educating Marines on the VA loan, as well as sailors, as well as airmen, as well as soldiers. If you give me a group, I'm going to talk about financial literacy. And it's not just about real estate. I talk to them about finances in totality. Because even if you don't invest into real estate, you can still do small things to improve your lifestyle, like budgeting, you know, or fixing your credit, stuff like that. So we talk about things like that. But the military, they even have an automatic investment program called a TSP.
But do they know that?
Everyone knows that because you get opted to it automatically in boot camp.
Okay.
And you can opt out when you leave boot camp.
Okay.
But if you wanted to be super conservative, don't want to invest in anything, automatically just get enrolled to the TSP and manage it properly, you can make a decent chunk of change after a 20-year career. But no one gives the military information. The military does not have like a set division for finances. I mean, they have resources. They have
but you have to like know how to find them, navigate them.
Yeah, because guess what's important in the military?
Yeah,
the mission comes first.
100%.
Right. So if I'm going to my command and I'm telling my command, hey, I'm having financial problems, my leader above me is going to say, go to the finance officer. And the finance officer is a billet and a guy who has no real experience or education in finance. He got put there because someone needed to be put there to say it's a checkbox. You know, they have amazing resources on base for these things. But they're not necessarily credible. They're not credible.
Well, and these military people are young.
Yeah.
So they're likely not super interested in a budget.
Right.
Right. So there's that too. But
and the youngest military member that I've helped purchase a house was 18.
That's great.
Amazing. And I'm talking about an E2 in the military.
Yeah. And do you know where that person is now?
They're still here in that same house.
Oh,
this was like within the last 3-4 years.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that's great.
But the house has gained over $300,000 in equity.
Might be a good time to like move on to the.
Oh, he gets in my emails all the
time. Okay. All right. So that's a lot. You're helping the active members, the veterans, the brokerage. We didn't even get into retention. I wanted to talk about that with you. Man. Like a whole nother conversation. I wanted to.
Retention is huge.
It's so huge. Yeah. So we'll have to do another podcast on that. I mean, we can keep chatting about it, but you know. But
real quick on retention, if you want to retain, become a servant leader.
Okay. Well,
which you already are.
I'm on.
You're on the right track.
I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.